Okay, so now it's time to play Would You Rather, and this is right up Kendall's alley, I think. So it's going to challenge him a little bit.
I love the
Would you
Gauntlet.
rather uh, Christian Pulisic Kaboom 2019? It's a Panini Prism insert. Kaboom PSA 9, and I'm gonna show the card here. So this is what we're looking at with the Pulisic Kaboom. He's in his Chelsea kit, and it's got a Chelsea logo on it. So that's $889.99 or make an offer. Would you rather a Kamaru Usman 2021 Panini Prism UFC Champion Signatures Silver Prism PSA 9 or a Spencer Torkelson 2020 Bowman Chrome First PSA 9 Purple Refractor Auto numbered to 250? So they're all about the same price. They're all about $1,000. I think you could get these cards for right around $1,000. And looks like the Spencer Torkelson Purple has brought me to a link with a bunch. Here it is right here. So here's the Spencer Torkelson card that I'm referencing. And I'm going to try to pull up the Usman here in another window, but you can kind of give us your breakdown. And I know you probably had to do a little bit of research on Usman, but I know you know the other guys really well. So what would you do? Yeah, here's the Usman right here. The 2021, which is the first year Prism UFC. And this is a Silver Prism PSA 9. So it's not numbered, but it is the short print Silver Prism.
So I do know a tad about UFC. I've watched UFC for probably off and on for about 10 years. I was super into it when Ultimate Fighter 1 came out. I just loved the Ultimate Fighter show that Forrest Griffin ended up winning, and then he came on and just became a belt winner after that. And it really, like, there was like a period of time right around the 2009, 2010 where the UFC, I really think, spiked in popularity. You had Chuck Liddell coming out. You've got Forrest Griffin. There was just fighters all over the place. There was a lot of fighters that were really well received in the media as well. And I felt like UFC was really at a really solid point there. And so I watched it for about 7 years, and I've kind of taken a step away in recent years. Not that I'm not watching it or that I don't like it. I feel like the product is not as good as it once was. But anyway, that's just kind of a little background on what my UFC involvement would be. I don't like Usman just because typically I like smaller fighters. I know that sounds weird, but anyway, when I look at Usman, I'm like, yeah, okay, he's just not a guy that I just like gravitate to and just like, man, I want to watch this every fight this guy does. And so with that, I think this would be my least of the three, which I'm sure you've probably expected, but this would be my least of the three in terms of which one I would pick. I love the Spencer Torkelson card, especially he just made opening day roster. He hit a bomb on the 11th pitch of the at bat. He fought off pitches like crazy, and then he takes one into the bullpen. I love his skill set. I do think he ends up as a first baseman primarily. The Tigers are still trying to make it look like he's going to also maybe play third. I think that's just not true. This dude's going to be a first baseman DH this whole life. I think they're trying to hold on to the Miggy first base thing. But if Miggy was not there, he would be a first baseman forever and always. Amen. But I love the Kaboom Pulisic. I absolutely love it. Pulisic is I spoke about him earlier in terms of what it meant for the national team. But I love Kaboom cards. Those Panini Kabooms go for wild money. I actually think this is a pretty good price. It's probably pretty close to what a raw Kaboom would be. So my only thing would be, okay, I would almost rather have a raw Kaboom rather than the Kaboom 9. But I would definitely take this card out of the three just because Pulisic has crazy value in the next year, I think. So I think this card goes up massively in the next 12 months.
All right, so Pulisic wins the first round of the Would You Rather Gauntlet. But I want to ask you a couple questions real quick about this card. So, do you believe that it's less expensive than we thought it would be because he's in a Chelsea kit, potentially? Or, I mean, I think like the obvious one is because it's a PSA 9. I guess I'm just surprised as to why this one is already priced under $900 and seems like we could maybe even get it for 800 if this, depending on how badly this seller wants to get rid of it. But yeah, it did seem underpriced to me. I was just wondering if it was because it was a Chelsea kit. I don't know.
No, I think I'm seeing this trend actually in the sports card network, which I think this is probably something that is really good for us to talk about. Actually, is I'm seeing this trend where when I first got into like really investing in sports cards, the trend was, you know, if you were going to buy a graded card, an a 7.5 or an 8, depending on where you were getting it graded from, was the same value as a raw card typically. And for some reason, in the past couple of months, I've realized that with PSA inflation values or whatever, really raw cards are coming really close to the value of an actual 9, which is kind of upsetting to me. And it might just be because the print numbers of modern cards are, you know, just having a 10 of most cards is more accessible than it used to be. But I'm seeing the value of a PSA 9 being pretty close to a raw. And so the chasm has not widened between raw and 9. Where the chasm has actually widened is between a 9 and a 10, I have seen. And so it's pretty unique.
Yep.
And I think we're seeing that with this card here, because I think, you know, a year ago or so, it had what, no matter what, you know, the Christian Pulisic Kaboom would have gone for considerably more than, well, maybe not more than it is right now, but in terms of the percentage wise, it would have had a higher percentage price closer to that of a 10. There would have been not as much of a markdown from that 10 to the 9. There would have been a significant markdown to the 8, unfortunately. And for whatever reason, I've seen recently that the 9s are now becoming more of what a comparable market is for a raw Kaboom. So I wonder if we could actually, maybe if you, I didn't actually do this before, but if you type in the 2019 Panini Prism Kaboom, if you just look at what that is raw, I wonder how close it is to that 890 market price. I could be wrong here, but I'm going to say that it's fairly close. Okay, so there's one for 750.
And this is a PSA 9. You just can't see it in the photo. So that's interesting.
That is interesting.
I guess why would we pay $889 when we can pay $749? What's weird about this is
that's funny that the person
show the PSA.
The person didn't even want it to be seen as a PSA.
The third photo shows. Yeah, that's
unique. All right. So, I mean, I think this builds even more expectation of why we're, you know, like, which is kind of a fun little caveat for us to talk about. I don't see any raw ones on here.
I don't see any raw just in this initial first page for Pulisic. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised. I would expect most people to have that one graded. But yeah, maybe it's something to think about. Like if you look at your card and it doesn't look like it's going to gem, you can probably make way more money just selling it raw than you would going through the process of the PSA grading.
Okay, I was wrong. I'm wrong. The most recent one that sold March 28th for best offer 525. And then there's one in March 21st that sold for 565. So that's still a pretty. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, even if you're going off that 750 markup, that's almost $200 difference between a raw and a 9.
So I
So
guess it is worth taking the chance if you think it's close. If you think it's close to a 10, you still make some money on a 9, especially if you can get into the economy grading at $50. They do those little events where you have to be online and
mhm.
try to win the spot. But I think, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so now we don't know what this box is going to go for. This is the 2021 Panini Prism NFL trading card hobby box. It comes out soon from Panini, and it's beautiful cards. It's obviously the flagship brand Prism. It's the way to get silver prisms and all the other parallels, and then of course the rookie autos, which I think look really really nice this year. Um, we've talked a lot about football cards already on this show, so we might be football carded out. But I thought it would be interesting to compare the winner of the first round, which included a UFC, a baseball prospect, and a U.S. men's national team member, against something way more mainstream in the hobby, I would say, which is Prism Football Hobby Box. So if you were given the chance to take the Prism Football Hobby Box 2021 or the Pulisic PSA 9 Kaboom, which one would you pick?
Um, would I be ripping
Garen,
the box, or would I be
you
holding
could
the?
do whatever you want with the box. There's look for 2 autographs, 10 numbered prisms, 4 silver prisms, 5 inserts, and 24 rookies per box on average.
And are you assuming it's going to come out around $1,000? Is that the
I
assumption?
am. Yeah, I am. I think it's going to come out around $1,000. I think they're going to do. I wouldn't be surprised if they do a Dutch auction for this, and maybe you have to wait to get it for around $1,000. Or I think it comes out right around $1,000. I could be wrong on that, but that's my assumption. I'll give you Pulisic plus $400 because we established that you could get the PSA 9 for $750.
Ooh, that okay. So my before you said that, I was going to say I would hold this wax,
Okay.
and I would store the wax and hold it, primarily because I'm not super excited about holding a bunch of bulk football, so I wouldn't rip it, but I would hold it, because I do believe that the Prism is definitely the price that you, or definitely the product that you want. That rookie auto looks stunning. And just the fact that there could be a Trevor Lawrence in there would drive the price up, or maybe not even that. Maybe it's the Trey Lance when he goes on his MVP run, like ESPN keeps talking about. It's crazy to me that he's even in the top 10 MVP lines. That's insane to me, I think. But anyway,
Yeah, that's great.
um, so the fact that Trey Lance autos could be in there probably drives that market way higher than $1,000. I would assume. But I also would take. I think I'm going to take the money and the Pulisic here because, if you gave me the Pulisic Kaboom, that also is going to be north of $1,000 in as soon as the World Cup starts in September, October, or November, actually. Sorry. But if you give me that Kaboom there and $400 to reinvest in more Gio Reynas or something like that now, that's what I'm going to take.
Okay. Love it. So we're going soccer, but it was a close call on that one. Close call. I like that. So now we're going to throw one more box of sealed wax at you to get the winner. It's either going to be the Pulisic PSA 9 Kaboom and $400, or it's going to be first off the line 2021-22 Panini Contenders Basketball NBA. So this is your rookie ticket opportunity for guys like Evan Mobley, for guys like Josh Giddey, for guys like Jalen Green. You've got veteran tickets of Luka in here and Trey. You've got Cade Cunningham rookie ticket, my guy in Detroit. And you are now seeing a Dutch auction format where it starts at $1,000. And my guess is that these are all going to be gone by the $680 mark. You're not going to be, if you're waiting till the $680 mark, That's my trigger point. You better buy before that if you really want these, or you take your chances on the secondary market. So pretty similar to Pulisic. Let's just say that you don't get the $400 in this case. So you have Pulisic PSA 9 Kaboom 2021 or the sealed box of first off the line contenders. And so for this one, just so everybody knows, you do get one first off the line exclusive opening ticket parallel, one exclusive first off the line shimmer autograph, 8 inserts and parallels, and 1 additional autograph per box. So it's in theory better than your regular hobby box.
So I looked into this product, and then I have been looking into all the rookies that are in this, and I am so stoked about what Cade Cunningham and Mobley and Josh Giddey and Jalen and all those guys are going to be studs in the NBA, I think, for a long time. Like, I think this was a pretty stacked draft class, actually. And so I actually would take this over the Pulisic PSA 9, primarily because I'm still going to hold this wax. Let's say we take it at the Dutch auction at $680 or something like that. I'm totally taking this, storing it in my closet, bringing it out, several years down the road when it's, $1,600 and making a nice fat profit on it.
Yeah, and love that. I'm hype about this product too. I did notice a typo as we were talking here. Might have to alert Panini, the Detroit Pistons.
Detroit.
I'm a guy who has spelled the word Detroit maybe more than any other word in my writing career. So that one stuck out to me right away. I was like, okay.
Detroit.
And we want you to check out the Facebook group at sportscardstrategy.com. There's a link there to join. Please also subscribe to the podcast and the YouTube channel if you haven't already. There's also links to do that at sportscardstrategy.com. And please check out the Sports Card Investment Report at nooffseason.com. And you can save 20% by using the promo code NOOFFSEASON. So do that. And of course, check out marketmoversapp.com and save 20% on that wonderful product by also using the promo code NOOFFSEASON. Everybody, this has been another great episode of the Sports Card Strategy Show. Thanks again to Andy Kaysen from Football Card Quest for joining Kendall and I. Kendall McKee from not only No Off Season Sports Card Content Network, but also Wild Cards Box Breaks and JustBaseball.com. Really appreciate you. Thanks again, everybody, and have a great day.